Friends, this Sunday keeping pastor shared almost all the truth about the Sabbath with his members during service.
Guys, Jesus is our example. Jesus kept the Sabbath, so Christians should keep the Sabbath as following Jesus' example.
The question is, are the Sunday keeping pastors now discovering the truth about the Sabbath? You know, most Christians always disagree on Sabbath keeping, and their favorite errors are: the Sabbath was for the Jews, we are no more under the law but under grace, the early Christians never kept the Sabbath, and many other errors. However, this Sunday keeping pastor from Lake Point Church said this about the Sabbath, and that was so wonderful.
There are 4 points today, not 3, so I got to be brief. Point number 1 about the Sabbath is, number 1, it's a command. Y'all, the Sabbath is a command. Now, I'm going to read you a section from Exodus 20. You Bible scholars, as soon as I say Exodus 20, you're going, bingo, I know where he's going. That's one of the 10 commandments, okay? It is. You're going to read one of the 10 commandments. Now, I just want to point this out before I read it. So, when God was condensing his entire morality into 10 tweets, this was so important that he put it in his top 10. Christian ethicists call the 10 Commandments entry-level Christian morality. Y'all, I'll get to that in a second. Let me read it and then we'll get going. This is Exodus 20. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. The Hebrew word holy comes from the English word holy comes from the Hebrew word kadosh. It means to cut or to separate. In other words, there should be 6 days and then there should be a cut. The 7th day should be separate. It should be different. These are the working days. This is the resting day, okay? 6 days you shall labor and do all your emails. But the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it, you shall turn off your phone. Amen. There it is.
Amen.
You shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant. I don't let any of my servants do anything for me on my Sabbath day, okay? Nor any foreigner residing in your towns. Now, did you see this? That's one of the 10 commandments. I actually don't have much to say here. I just want to point this out. What's really interesting, guys, this is in the same list as do not commit adultery. This has the same weight as you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not lie, you shall not blaspheme the name of the Lord. And in that same list is one other. He goes, I love you so much that one day a week you shall not do any work, and I want you to rest. Now, what's so interesting to me is you'll never meet a Christian that's like, you know what you ought to do? It's totally fine for you to commit adultery. It's totally fine for you to kill somebody. It's okay if you lie. That's fine. But for some reason, when it comes to this one commandment, Christians everywhere act like it's totally okay to violate this commandment.
Yes, it is true. The Sabbath is a command which is found in God's perfect law, which is the 10 commandments. However, the Sabbath is the only commandment many Christians have problem with. Now, he continued by sharing another truth about the Sabbath, that the Sabbath was established at creation. Let's listen to him.
To command, it's a law of creation. It's a law of creation. Now, I'm going to read this to you from Genesis 2. There's at least 1,500 years before the law was given, okay? So check this out. This is in Genesis. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, God had finished the work that he had done. So God finished his work in 6 days. And then he rested on the 7th day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed. Did you see that word blessed? He blessed it. The Sabbath is a blessing. God's going, I love you so much. Please let me give you this blessing. He blessed the 7th day. He made it holy because on it, God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. So you see this. This is it, guys. It's something that's woven into creation. Now, wait, go back. Can you put that back on screen? Let me just highlight some at the very end here. Because I want you to say these in the last sentence. I want you to say these yellow words out loud. Because on it,
he rested.
God rested. No, that wasn't good enough. We're going to do it again. I need you to understand the significance of this because on it,
God rested.
God rested. Guys, listen.
So friends, that was another truth about the Sabbath this Sunday keeping pastor shared with his congregation. Did he know all these things? Many Christians, many Sunday keeping Christians know all these things, but they just don't want to keep the seventh-day Sabbath. Yes, the Sabbath was established at creation, and when you read the Bible, especially in the book of Genesis, you will find that God rested on the seventh day after creating all things. So this tells us that the Sabbath was not made for the Jews as most Christians say. It was established even before the Jews came into existence. So the Sabbath was made for man. Then this pastor continued by saying that the happiest people on earth are the Seventh-day Adventists. Really? Let's go ahead and listen to him.
Now, so sociologists, just track with me, I like nerded out on this. Sociologists, they did this study a few years ago where they were studying the happiest people on earth. And one of the groups of people they found were happiest is a little Christian sect called the Seventh-day Adventists. And you can tell it in their name, they're like really religious about keeping the Sabbath.
So this was his observation and also a report by some researchers, all right? But what do you think about this? Let us know in the comment section. Now, friends, this pastor said a lot about the Sabbath that were so true and were also based on the Bible. But he made a statement, one statement that I think was not the will of God or was not the way of God. He said that his Sabbath was on Monday, which means that an individual can choose a day as his own Sabbath. Let's go ahead and listen to that.
My Sabbath is on Monday. You can pick any day of the week, but there needs to be one day of the week that is set apart as holy unto the Lord. Watch this. To rest and enjoy the goodness of creation and the goodness of your Father. That's it. Guys, would you please receive this gift I'm trying to give you? Now, here's...
All right, so I think this is where he needs more understanding concerning the Sabbath. We do not choose the Sabbath. God has already made it. You know, in the Bible, both Old and New Testament, you will never find a single verse that actually shows that human beings or people chose their Sabbath. They were all following God's Sabbath. The day God rested from all his work, you know, from his creation work. So this is something that we do not choose, but God has already made it and given it out for man to rest from all his work. All right. So I think the pastor should actually learn more about this. We do not choose the Sabbath. All right. I don't know what you think about this whole video and the pastor's presentation. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down there, all right? This is all that I had to share with you today. Thank you for watching. My name is Brother Lawrence, and see you next time.